Hey, if you like turning compost, don't even click on this video because within it, we're going to learn how to do no-turn compost using a Mini Johnson.
It's going to save you time, labor, and it doesn't cost much to do, and it's super easy, and I think anyone can do it. Let me show you. It's called a Mini Johnson-Su, and I'm referring to Dr. David Johnson's bioreactor that they call a Johnson-Su composting bioreactor. But this is a mini one. Let's get started. Okay, so I made the Rubbermaid. This is Brute Rubbermaid, so it's tough enough to do what we want to do. This is the completed one. We just drilled a bunch of holes in the sides and put the perforated pipe in. We drilled a few more holes into it. So our goal is to have air everywhere within a foot of the compost or the fresh product going in there to make compost, so that you don't have to turn it. This is a no-turn method. You just add the products in there. Those are waste out of my kitchen, and some carbon. Let me show you how to fill this, or how you want to be layering. So I've been putting food waste in this here for a few days now. So, but to start it, I started with wood chips, some leaves, and some shredded paper to get started in the bottom, because you want to have carbon in the bottom part of it to start. And then I started with my fresh cuttings. You see I had some celery there, it's still wanting to try to grow, and broccoli, different stuff, potato peels in there. And so then now I'm ready to add another carbon layer. So I'm going to add leaves. I love leaves because they're coming from my native trees, and they've got my native microbes on them. So I'll put that in there, and I'm going to add some garlic stalks there that I harvested garlic last week, or not last week, but I finally composted them last week. Then we can put some paper shreds in there. Now if I put paper in here, I probably am going to need to add a little bit more water to this to keep that paper wet enough, because it's pretty absorbent. So put a little paper in there. So we're shooting for about 50% carbon and 50% fresh material. And it's easy to get a little too crazy on the fresh, but you want the carbon in there. It will get it to compost really well, and it'll keep the smell down. I don't think they smell at all, but I may be immune to smell. Alright, so that's all it looks like for there. And then this is one of two. This one's a little bit bigger, holds more gallons than that one over there. That's all up to you. The keys are, there's holes in the bottom right where the pipe is going to come up, and holes all the way around the outside of it. And then the pipe itself has holes, and it's set over the top of the holes in the bottom. Now this one I've stopped adding products to, but it's kind of key that we put the browns, which is your carbon materials. In this case was garlic hulls, bean hulls, and wood chips, shredded paper. I get shredded paper from the school, leaves. So put the brown in the very bottom, and then just start adding your waste from your kitchen. I took a little bit of water in the beginning, but then I haven't had to water it since, which is pretty nice because it's one less thing that you have to do. But it does need to stay damp enough that it will start decomposing. So I started this one in June, and I've continued to add stuff to it all summer long. So it's great because you always need some place for your food waste to go coming out of your kitchen, and your gardens are green and growing, and you're not wanting to add to any other compost. So this is a great place to be putting that compost. I had 2 of them, and I let one of them get pretty composted down, and then I transferred that and moved it into a root cellar and added the worms that I've got out of the worm bin over here. This was a compost. This was compost that I added the worms to and made vermicompost. And then those worms I gathered up with the cantaloupe and a watermelon and stuff and moved them into that Mini Johnson-Su and put it into the root cellar. So those worms can compost all winter long down there. And then the other one that I just showed you that I made, that's over there by my kitchen door, is going to be the one that I'll use all winter long. Super easy. Let me know if you got any questions. But hey, if you're watching this video, I really appreciate it. But I really need you to subscribe. And it doesn't hurt anybody to subscribe, but it's really hard to get people to subscribe. So please subscribe so that I can afford to keep giving you some free education. Okay, thank you. This was compost that I added the worms to and made vermicompost. And then those worms I gathered up with the cantaloupe and a watermelon and stuff and moved them in.
Now I have worms in this bin, and the bin had compost from last year's Johnson-Su in it. And so the worms have made just gorgeous vermicompost. I put the zucchini in here to try to make sure I had all the worms gathered out of here. It's getting ready to be winter. And I gathered up most of the worms with cantaloupe and watermelon and was able to move them to the other Johnson-Su. But this vermicompost is just gorgeous stuff.